Mr. President, first of all, my condolences on the death of your brother, Robert. I know that has to be a very difficult time for you. Let's talk about the economy, as you did just a moment ago. Any second thoughts about not implementing a more strict national COVID response as opposed to leaving it up to a patchwork of states? Could that have maybe kept the economy from going to the depths that it did?
Well, if you look at our economy compared to the economy of many other nations, some which were held up as having done a great job, we're doing better. Mortality rates, so many different things, we're doing better than most other countries. And in terms of manufacturing equipment and bringing it back, when you look at our numbers, you saw the numbers with retail sales and with auto manufacturing and all sorts of things. We're at the top of the world right now. We're doing better than any other nation. So I think we've done a very good job. You know, there's a big price to keeping everybody locked up and keeping them shut down. There's a tremendous price to pay, whether it's depression, suicide, drugs, alcohol. There's a tremendous price to saying we're going to keep everything shut. And interestingly, if you look at some of the states in this country that were the strictest, they're not doing as well as some of the governors who did it in an easier manner. So it's an invisible enemy. I think we've done an incredible job.
So no second thoughts on that front. You're facing a lot of criticism here in Minnesota and elsewhere about the Postal Service. You addressed that briefly in your remarks. Why are you so opposed to the mail-in voting? And is there an orchestrated effort by you or others to slow the mail down, to hinder that process?
No, look, we want absentee ballots. That's good. Somebody sends for the ballot and it comes in and they sign it and they send it, and that's very safe, like in Florida and other places. What they want to do is send millions of ballots out just indiscriminately all over. They want to send millions and millions of ballots out, Tom. And you can't do that. You can't do that. If you look at New York, New Jersey, Virginia, and many other places, they don't even know what the vote is. They have no idea what's going on. It's a total catastrophe. You will have an election. They won't know the winner of the election for 2 years. They'll never know the winner of the election. As far as the post office is concerned, it lost $78 billion in a relatively short number of years, relatively. And you can't do that. This is long before I got here. The post office has always been a problem from that standpoint. We want to make the post office strong, and really, we want to make it great again. And that's what we're doing. This has nothing to do with ballots. This has to do with making the post office good. Also, we can't continue to allow the taxpayers to pay this massive amount of loss. We can make the post office very strong and make it better.
On another issue, Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz requested federal aid of about $15 million to help clean up Minneapolis and St. Paul after the civil unrest following George Floyd's death. It was denied. Do you oppose that? And is it some kind of a punishment for the Minneapolis City Council wanting to defund or dismantle police?
Well, you know what? It's a punishment for being foolish, for being stupid, because they could have stopped that if they let the police do what they're trained to do. You have a good police department. They wouldn't let the police act, whether it was the mayor, the governor, or both. You wouldn't let the police act. You know, we sent in the National Guard. It solved all the problem. You wouldn't have had a problem in Minneapolis if they allowed the police to do their job. So I'm going to look into that when I get back. But I will tell you that, you know, they're being almost rewarded for allowing this horrible situation to take place. But it's Minnesota. It's a great place. It's a great state. I love it. We almost won it. We just did one more speech. We would have won it. We'll win it this time because people want law and order. But think of it. They're asking for money to do something, to fix something that should have never happened, because they should have either brought in the National Guard immediately or let the police do their job.
Based on what you've seen and read, should all 4 of those officers in the George Floyd case have been prosecuted? And is it symptomatic of a larger problem with police brutality?
Well, I'm going to let them take a look at that. I'm going to let them study it and solve the problem. It's, you know, maybe there are things I don't know about. Certainly it was a tragic situation. I hated seeing it. I've seen it like everyone else a lot. You know, you see it on television all the time. You see it, you read about it. But we'll let them make that decision.
Final couple things. A Republican has not won a presidential race in Minnesota since 1972. You did come very close in 2016. Are you seeing evidence here on the ground that you have a chance to win Minnesota? And do you need to in case you lose another state that you won in 16?
Well, I think Minnesota would be tremendous if we won it. I'd appreciate it. I've done a lot for Minnesota. I've been good to Minnesota. I love the state. I know so many people. I have so many friends up here. You have great congressmen up here. You have a really good race. I think Jason is going to win for the Senate. He's really smart and tough and strong. and he's going to really be, he's a great candidate, far better than what the Democrats have. I think I would win. Look at the crowd we have today, just on a quick little meeting, a quick little stop. Look at the kind of crowd, and we had to hold a lot of people back. Yeah, I think we're going to win Minnesota. We just missed it last time. One more stop and we would have won, but we won Michigan by doing that extra stop. I think we're going to focus very hard on Minnesota. We've done so much for Minnesota. I think we're going to win it.
Are in-person events like this safe, do you think, to that many people, many of them not wearing masks?
I think so. I mean, we're pretty much socially distanced. They get a little excited, but frankly, they're socially distanced and they're safe, yes, and we're outside.
And finally, harsh words for Congresswoman Omar. You called her a horrible person who hates our country. Do you really believe that?
Oh, sure, absolutely. I think she hates our country. She does nothing but complain about our country. It's hard to believe she can win a primary. That tells you how far left and how far sick the Democrats have become. When somebody like that can win a primary in a great state like this, that's a very, very bad, dangerous thing for our country. Yeah, I believe she hates our country, and she does nothing but badmouth our country, and I don't like it.
Can we expect to see you back here many more times
I'll be
before
back
November?
Here. I'll be back here a lot.
Well, all over the state?
Yeah, we expect to make a lot of stuff. We think we're going to win this state.
Doing events like this in person
like this, sure,
as much as
sure,
possible?
As much as possible.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. President, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
I do appreciate it.
Great to be with you.